Time to bring our pros in. We have the one and only Andy Montgomery from the Kinsale Golf and Fitness Club, and the man to my left, Brad Zeitner, BZ from the In-Town Golf Club. All right, Andy, let me start with, I picked him to win. I know everyone's beating me up. We're supposed to pick the winner, not the loser, right?
Right. Well done. I mean, like you said, you went out on a limb, probably did a ton of research. But
no, he's the hottest guy. I mean, let me ask you. Here's what I want to ask you. All right, I picked him because is there anyone hotter on the PGA Tour? He now has 3 wins and a 4th place finish in a month. This guy is playing at another level, and I even said it to Adam earlier today. It's Tiger-esque, I think, what we're watching right now.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what tournament he tees it up in. He's going to be the favorite. And like most of the ones of recent times, he's won. So he is like Tiger. He shows up, wins, moves on, goes to the next tournament, wins again.
How impressed were you, though, with what impressed me the most is how consistent he was. He took the pars when he didn't try to press it. He just played smart.
That's his best quality, really. I mean, everyone's going to get caught up in the ball striking and fairways, greens, making putts. But really, he just doesn't mess up. That is his best skill. He hits the fairway. He hits the green. He makes pars. He lets others make bogeys. He hangs around. When he needs to press, he's also pretty good at that, too, when he needs to make a birdie. But that's what he does the best. He just hangs around and lets others lose, and he wins.
Now, I do want to say Scotty Sheffer now wears a shirt that said Dom Tiberi's pick back-to-back years, and that's more impressive than the Memorial win. Would you agree, BZ?
I think so. Maybe the next one we get a tattoo.
There you go. That's a good call. All right. He talked about it, almost robotic there from Sheffer when he's on the course. It just seems like nothing affects him. Goes out there and plays hole after hole. Is that his greatest strength, or is there something else that really jumps out to you?
Well, you know, when you look at his final round today, one of the things that happened, he made a couple of great par saves. So, as we had said last night, it was going to be difficult for somebody to catch him because he was going to remain steady, and it was going to be difficult for them to shoot that low. And when you consider, I mean, he's just living in the top 10. When you consider his last 7 events, 3 of those are victories, and the other ones are all in the top 10. It's pretty hard to catch if you're behind him.
I do want to say we give Dom a lot of crap here, but it is Scotty Scheffler versus the field at this point. That's what it feels like. Have we gotten to that point? I mean, when you look at the U.S. Open, is that where we are? When you look at the next PGA event, is that where we've reached with this man?
I think so, exactly right. I mean, you go in and he's clearly going to be the favorite at just about every event that he tees it up in. They talk about courses for horses. Well, I think all the courses are pretty good for Scotty.
He is 28 years old, Andy, and that was his 16th win. This was. I talk about Tiger, and I mean, what does he need to do in your mind to keep this going? Because he's making crazy money now, and I look at Tiger Woods. His whole driving point was to catch Jack. Yeah. Do you see that with this kid?
Well, we're going to find out because he's starting to kind of climb into that air, and we're going to start asking those questions, and he's going to start getting us kind of a little into his mindset on what gets him going. We know it's not the money. He's mentioned that before. It's winning the tournaments. But is it majors now? Is it legacy? Like, where is he going and what is he thinking and what is going to be that driving force to get him to do this for another 10, 15, 20 years?
I mean, how good can this guy be? Could this guy, I mean, everyone says Jack's record. Is this a guy that might challenge Jack's record?
Well, you'd have to say yes, but Jack's record, I still think it's going to be really hard to beat. It's health. These guys hit it so hard and so far now. It really puts a toll on their body. So it's almost luck if someone can do this for 20, 25 years and beat that record. But again, if he does, obviously, just like we're talking about, he would be the guy that we would all bet to do it.
All right. I want to look at the actual course here, 10 under par. We talked about Scotty shot 70, 70, 68, 70. He didn't go out there one round and shoot as Ben Griffin did 7 under par. Do you think if you're Jack, 10 under, are you happy with how tough Muirfield played?
You know, I would think they would be very happy. As we talked about Scotty, the fact is he was so steady. He didn't have anything over par. And when you look at, a good testimonial would be, you look at Jordan Spieth. Well, Jordan Spieth made bogey after bogey after bogey. Scotty made 1 bogey the entire weekend. Jordan Spieth on Saturday, Sunday, he averaged 5 bogeys each day. So with that, you have 5 bogeys each day. you're going to have to make a world of birdies to even try to keep up with him when he's shooting 2, 3, 4 under, just as you said, 69, 70. You're not going to catch him if you're making that amount of bogeys. And that's what the guys did. I think the course held up fine for that, with the exception of him.
I do want to talk about Ben Griffin, because there was a point there on 16. He made this a two-shot tournament. Were you surprised by how well he went toe-to-toe with Scotty today? Obviously, 17's double bogey ended everything.
Yeah, not surprised. He was coming off of a win. He'd won, as we said, he's won twice in 28 days. So not surprised. But I thought he was very aggressive when he needed to be, and he knew he had to. There were times when it was like, hey, this is getting away from me. If I don't go for some of these shots, for example, on 15, he had to do the things he did, and it paid off. But like there it was on 15, he hits a great shot in there from the fairway. Well, Scotty backed it up and hit the exact same shot almost, and he was only able to gain one stroke when it looked like, hey, it could be a two-shot swing there. So Scotty answers the bell when he has to, and that's what Dom and Andy were just saying.
Eddie, let me ask you about Jordan Spieth. Here's a guy that hasn't won since 2022. He's got majors to his resume. I don't know, when you watch him, what's missing? And to me, he just doesn't seem comfortable.
Yeah, I think we talked about it a little bit last night, where he's gone through some very recent swing changes. And I'm not saying he can't do them, but I think that's another Tigerism, where Tiger was so athletic. And I think when he was always talking about making swing changes, maybe he was, maybe he wasn't, but his competition thought that they needed to make swing changes. And maybe that's what kind of messes people up. He is a little erratic, but he is a guy mentally that can win some tournaments. So if he gets the driver going well and gets that putter hot, he can win. But as Brad alluded to, 10 bogeys on the weekend is never going to get it done.
Another guy that had a decent tournament, Ricky Fowler. I mean, he's a guy that it was such a fan favorite. What do you think's going through his mind? He's got to try to qualify now for the U.S. Open.
Yeah, I think he's on the rebound. I think obviously he was one of the world's best for a long time, and he kind of hit a little skid, and I think he's coming back up. I like his opportunities moving forward. He just qualified for the British Open with a good finish this week. Hopefully he can qualify for the U.S. Open at Kinsale tomorrow. And I think that, again, his trajectory is going well. So let's just hope he continues on that trajectory.
Well, we're talking about the U.S. Open here. We know the dates for next year's, and we're going to get into that in a little bit in wall-to-wall sports. But do you like the idea of the Memorial being 2 weeks before the U.S. Open? We saw it differently last year. Obviously, Rory didn't play this week, but do you like the spot this fits into the PGA Tour calendar?
I do personally, and I would think the players would like that. I think this is a great proving ground and a great warm-up, a great test prior to going to the U.S. Open and going to places like Oakmont, where they'll be in a few weeks. To come here to Jack's Place and play it under these very, very difficult conditions, long, rough, firm and fast greens, great tune-up for that. So I think that it's not going to be a shootout here with the difficulty of the golf course, and it's never going to be a shootout at the U.S. Open either. So I think it's great prep for the players.
All right.
You know, the other thing, Andy, they named the honoree for next year, David Graham, two-time major winner, won the Memorial Tournament in 1980.
Oh, well, that's great. I mean, I didn't heard that news, but that's great. I love having those guys come back with Memorial wins. It's always great to have a good honoree, and it brings back some history, too, so it's never a bad thing.
Well, you guys are fantastic.
But before we do go to break, they let me pick anybody before the tournament. I chose Ludwig Obert. You picked Scotty Scheffler for the second straight year. I think we have to give Dom his credit, because he could have picked anyone.
I've already brought it up. I didn't want we don't need to keep piling on me.
You deserve the credit. I will say, Ludwig.
He's going to win it next year, by the way.
You don't have to
Tell
lock
me
it
I'm
in
wrong.
yet. We've
The
got
early
all this
call.
time.
I like the early call.
Hey, Adam, I'll tell you this. You may not even know it. Probably you do, but Dom wouldn't know. Ludwig went for 66 today, and he moved into like 16th position. So
Yeah.
Low round on
Great
the course.
round. He had a great round, but he didn't win. And Scotty, I'm on record right now. He is going to win next year. He's going to get the Tiger three-peat. He's going to be the only guy, other than Tiger.
going out on a limb again.
There you go. Anyways, great stuff from both these guys.